Microsoft is all in on gaming. We're 2 years into the latest console generation, and the company's Xbox consoles are selling like crazy. That's mostly thanks to the success of their Game Pass subscription service. The ecosystem is packing some insane value. These days, it honestly feels like the gaming giant can do no wrong, and they've just unveiled their latest trump card, cloud gaming for non-Game Pass games. Here's how this new feature is going to shake things up. Firstly, everything's on the cloud. If you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you'll know that Xbox has been digging into streaming for a while. The service allows subscribers to download as many games as they want for a monthly fee, but that's just the lowest tier. A downloadable catalog is just the first step in Microsoft's quest to become the Netflix of the video game world. Here's what they're really stepping up. If you subscribe to the highest tier of Game Pass, you can actually stream games in the selection, no downloading required. That's pretty crazy, but get this, it looks like the company's about to expand it even further. Here's what's new. Xbox is opening up streaming for games outside of Game Pass. That's right, pretty soon you won't need to wait for a game to come to the service in order to stream it. If you own it digitally and it's streamable, you can start playing immediately. Of course, you still need to be a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, but this new feature is just adding value on top of what's already the best deal in modern gaming. The list of games that can be streamed is growing every day, and it feels like we're heading for a streaming-heavy future. We don't know about you, but we can't wait. The news comes by the way of Ashley McKissick, Microsoft's CVP of Gaming Experiences and Platforms. According to McKissick, players on Xbox have been asking for streaming rights to games in their collections, and Microsoft is finally giving in. This move is pushing towards a pretty exciting new direction for the ecosystem, and it comes with a whole world of possibilities. At some point, downloading is going to become old school, and streaming games will be the norm. Microsoft just brought us a lot closer to that vision for gaming, and they're not showing any signs of stopping. Next, we have Xbox's streaming plans. This is just one part of the company's strategy to dominate the streaming game though. They've managed to enter the space pretty early, and they're definitely making the most of it. Their Xbox Cloud Gaming app is available on consoles, phones, laptops, and even browsers, and it offers gamers more than 200 games to choose from. Of course, you need a crazy fast internet connection to keep up with all that sweet gameplay, but internet speeds are getting faster and faster too. At this rate, we might not even need consoles soon, since the cloud takes care of all the processing requirements. It really is the future. Xbox knows that, and they might be moving away from the console space altogether if the reports are anything to go by. The company's whole philosophy is to get games in the hands of consumers, and having to buy a whole console is a pretty big barrier to entry. Pretty soon, that won't be an issue. That's because Microsoft is busy designing streaming sticks to make it easier for people to get on Game Pass. The device is codenamed Project Keystone, and it looks awesome. So yeah, the next Xbox product might look a little bit more like a Chromecast than a traditional gaming console. The move is just another forward push by the mega corporation. They've made their services available on all possible devices. Want to play Xbox games on a PC? You totally can. Want to play Xbox games on your browser? Go right ahead. They're even entering the TV space. Yep, Microsoft's been working with television manufacturers to build a gaming app directly into new smart TVs. All you need is a controller to connect your TV to, and you'll be good to go. Every device you own will be able to play Xbox games, and that's definitely going to give the company an edge over its peers. And now for rising over the competition. Xbox has a ton of rivals in the world of gaming. There's Nintendo with their mega popular Switch console, Google with their streaming capable Stadia, and of course, Sony with the PlayStation lineup. Things are looking good for the American tech giant though, and it's showing in the place where it counts, sales. Xbox just outsold PlayStation in monthly units sold for the first time in years, and they've been converting tons of gamers thanks to the insane value of Game Pass. We don't know yet if the Game Pass model is going to be sustainable in the long run, but it's definitely helping Microsoft rise up after a pretty disappointing run for their Xbox One consoles. Sony ran over the corporation in the last generation. The difference in sales between the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One is so massive that Microsoft decided not to release their sales figures. It's pretty safe to say they didn't sell anywhere near the 116 million PS4s that Sony was able to sell. The company lost, and now they're back with a vengeance. Game Pass is basically a steal. Play AAA games as soon as they release, at a fraction of what they cost. Only a company as massive as Microsoft could pay for something like that, and they are. Other players in the space don't have a chance because they just don't have the kind of capital that Microsoft is pouring into the Xbox engine. That doesn't mean they're not trying though. Up next, the future of gaming. Sony just came out with their subscription service. It's an expansion of PlayStation PlayStation Plus, and it's giving members a nice catalog of downloadable games to dig into. The selection spans all of PlayStation's history, so it's pretty exciting. Don't expect games to release directly onto the service though. Sony still believes in a la carte purchases, and they're not following Microsoft's strategy on that front. Meanwhile, the folks over at Nintendo are going their own way, like they always have. Instead of a subscription service for new games, they've got one exclusively for old ones. Their Nintendo Switch Online service gives subscribers access to a range of classic games from the video game company's history. It's a vintage service. Long story short, streaming is the future of gaming. So, get with the program, because it's about to get easier than ever to play games. Now, in other news, PlayStation skips Gamescom. Sony will not be part of the Gamescom event this year. The news isn't that surprising, since Sony's basically made a habit out of skipping major game shows at this point. They backed out of E3 a long time ago, and Gamescom is the latest conference they're dropping. The company is all about short-form state-of-play streams these days, and those are pretty great too. The last one even featured major titles like Final Fantasy XVI, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Street Fighter 6. Not too shabby. Gamescom is the world's most popular video game expo, and it transitioned to a streaming-based format in 2019. This year, it's coming back as both an online and in-person show. We've got some bad news though. Major players in the video game industry won't be attending. We're talking Nintendo, Take-Two, and Activision Blizzard, in addition to Sony, and Microsoft seems pretty improbable too. The news is a bummer for sure, but there'll still be some awesome games to see at the event, which is scheduled to take place in August. Next, the Castillo Protocol will have mostly melee combat. If you're an FPS fan looking forward to gunning down monstrous aliens in the upcoming horror game The Castillo Protocol, we've got bad news for you. It looks like shooting isn't going to be a big part of the game's combat mechanics, according to its design director Ben Walker. Instead, the game focuses on melee action. Walker says almost half of the Castillo Protocol's combat will be melee focused. The game is being marketed as a survival horror experience, so the development team probably doesn't want players to feel comfortable while playing. That's why the game won't be giving us a lot of ammo during a regular playthrough, forcing us to rely on melee to take down enemies. The game comes out this December and is being developed by Striking Distance Studios, with Glenn Schofield heading up the project. Schofield's involvement is pretty huge, since he's one of the creators of the Dead Space games. Let's see if he can scare us again. Finally, DICE is committed to Battlefield. Tough luck for fans of Mirror's Edge. Rebecca Kutaz, VP at DICE, says the developer is putting all its efforts into fixing Battlefield 2042. Everything else is supposed to come second. That means fans holding out for a new game from the studio are going to have a long wait ahead of them. DICE are known for their first-person games. They've worked on Medal of Honor, Star Wars Battlefront, and of course Mirror's Edge, but the company's currently at a pretty low point in its production history. That's because their last Battlefield game was a buggy mess when it came out last year. It was so bad they're still trying to fix it, and apparently it's an all-hands-on-deck situation for the multiplayer shooter. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think of Microsoft's new game plan? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.